Did you know that the apple you just ate could have over 30 different pesticides on it, even after washing? The Dirty Dozen explained. The term Dirty Dozen refers to a list of fruits and vegetables that are recommended to be purchased organic due to their high levels of pesticide contamination. This list is updated annually by the Environmental Working Group, EWG, a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization dedicated to protecting human health and the environment. The EWG uses data from the United States Department of Agriculture to identify the foods that test positive for a number of different pesticide residues and show higher concentrations of pesticides than other produce items. In their report, the EWG highlights how the widespread use of pesticides in agriculture can lead to pesticide residue in foods we consume daily. The Dirty Dozen list aims to inform consumers about which fruits and vegetables have the highest pesticide levels when grown conventionally versus organically. By prioritizing these fruits and vegetables for organic purchases, consumers can significantly reduce their exposure to harmful chemicals. Studies such as those published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry have shown that switching to organic fruits and vegetables can reduce the pesticide residues in the body. Another study highlighted by the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that organic produce tends to provide greater levels of certain nutrients, including antioxidants, compared to their conventionally grown counterparts. These findings support the EWG's recommendations and underscore the importance of considering organic options, particularly for the Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen list serves as a practical guide for consumers aiming to reduce their pesticide intake without avoiding fruits and vegetables altogether. By understanding which items are most likely to carry pesticide residues, consumers can make more informed choices at the grocery store, opting for organic versions of these items to minimize their exposure and potential health risks. Strawberries. Strawberries consistently top the list of the Dirty Dozen due to their high pesticide residues. These popular berries have a large surface area and numerous seeds that can retain chemicals even after washing. A study by the Environmental Working Group, EWG, found that strawberries can contain residues from numerous pesticides. This raises concerns about their consumption, particularly among vulnerable groups such as pregnant women and children. The journal Environmental Health Perspectives published findings that link pesticide exposure from strawberries to adverse health effects, underscoring the importance of choosing organic strawberries to reduce pesticide intake. Spinach. Spinach is another staple on the Dirty Dozen list, known for its high pesticide residue. The leafy structure of spinach provides ample surface area for pesticides to linger. The United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, tests found that spinach samples had relatively high concentrations of pesticides compared to other produce. According to research published in the Journal of Exposure Science and Environmental Epidemiology, these residues include chemicals that have been associated with reproductive and developmental effects in longitudinal studies, making the case for consuming organic spinach especially compelling. Kale. Kale has become popular in health-conscious diets, but it also comes with a risk of high pesticide exposure when not grown organically. Recent analyses by the EWG revealed that a significant percentage of non-organic kale samples tested positive for multiple pesticides. Some of these chemicals are classified by the Environmental Protection Agency as potentially carcinogenic. The importance of choosing organic kale is highlighted in the Journal of Food Composition and Analysis, which notes that organic kale shows lower pesticide levels and higher nutritional benefits. Nectarines. Nectarines, like their close relative peaches, often have high levels of pesticide residues. Their smooth skin does little to prevent pesticide absorption into the flesh beneath. Data from the USDA shows that nectarines are among the fruits most contaminated with residues from multiple pesticides. The Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry has published findings demonstrating that these residues can include substances harmful to human health, particularly affecting endocrine function. Opting for organic nectarines can significantly reduce exposure to these harmful chemicals, making them a safer choice for consumption. Apples. Apples are a staple in many diets, but are also commonly found on the Dirty Dozen list due to their high pesticide residue. According to the Environmental Working Group, Apples can be sprayed with various pesticides to combat insects and disease, which can linger on their skin. A detailed study published in the Journal of Toxicology and Environmental Health emphasizes that these pesticide residues can have harmful effects on human health, particularly affecting neurological health over time. Washing and peeling can reduce some residues, but not all, making organic apples a healthier choice to avoid these potential risks. Grapes. Grapes, both table and wine varieties, often carry significant pesticide residues. Their thin skins and the clusters in which they grow make them vulnerable to numerous pests, leading to frequent pesticide applications. Research findings from the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry indicate that grapes can contain residues from multiple pesticides, some of which are known to affect hormone function and reproductive health. Opting for organic grapes is advised to avoid the intake of these compounds, which are difficult to completely remove through washing due to the grape's morphology. Peaches. Peaches are another fruit that typically harbors high levels of pesticides. The soft skin of peaches absorbs pesticides, which are used extensively in conventional peach orchards to fend off pests and fungal diseases. The Journal of Environmental Research has published studies showing that the pesticide levels in conventional peaches can contribute to chronic health issues, including respiratory problems and skin irritations. Since these substances penetrate the skin of the peach, simply washing the fruit is not an adequate measure to remove all residues. Hence, the importance of purchasing organic peaches. Cherries. Cherries, with their appealing red hue, also make the Dirty Dozen list. Cherries are treated with pesticides to manage their numerous natural pests. The concentration of pesticides on cherries can be particularly high due to their exposure to various treatments during the growing season. A study in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health revealed that the pesticides used on cherries could be linked to developmental and hormonal disruptions in humans. Given these concerns, consumers are encouraged to select organic cherries to minimize health risks associated with pesticide exposure. Pears. Pears, much like apples, are often subjected to a variety of pesticides to protect them from insects and diseases throughout their growing season. The absorbent skin of pears holds on to pesticides, which are applied regularly to prevent scab, a common pear ailment, and to control other pests. Research published in the Journal of Food Protection indicates that these pesticide residues can persist even after washing. The study highlights the potential for pesticide accumulation in the body from regular consumption of non-organic pears, pointing to increased risks of endocrine disruption and other health issues. As a result, opting for organic pears can greatly reduce these health risks, providing a safer fruit choice for consumers. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are among the most commonly consumed vegetables worldwide and are also frequently found on the Dirty Dozen list. They are treated with pesticides at several stages of their growth to fend off insects and diseases. The Journal of Environmental Science and Health details how the porous skin of tomatoes can absorb pesticides, which then remain on the fruit even after washing. These chemicals can potentially affect human health by disrupting hormonal balances and causing developmental problems. Choosing organic tomatoes helps in reducing exposure to these harmful chemicals, making them a preferable option for health-conscious consumers. Celery. Celery is another vegetable that appears on the Dirty Dozen list due to its high pesticide residue levels. Its stocky nature and high water content make it particularly vulnerable to pest attacks, necessitating the use of various chemical treatments in conventional farming. According to findings in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, celery often retains pesticide residues in its fibrous stalks. The study shows that these residues can include neurotoxic chemicals, which pose significant health risks if ingested regularly. Therefore, purchasing organic celery is strongly recommended to avoid the intake of potentially harmful pesticides. Potatoes. Potatoes, a staple in many diets, are exposed to a slew of pesticides from planting until harvest to protect them from a range of pests and diseases. The American Journal of Potato Research reports that conventional potatoes frequently contain residues of several types of pesticides. These compounds can penetrate the skin of the potato and remain in the flesh. rendering washing and peeling less effective in removing them. Given that potatoes are a major dietary component for many, consuming organic potatoes is crucial to avoid these pesticide residues, which have been linked to a variety of health issues, including hormonal disruptions and immune system impacts. We've highlighted the significance of the Dirty Dozen, a list of fruits and vegetables that, when grown conventionally, are most likely to carry high levels of pesticide residues. These residues can have profound effects on health, including hormonal disruptions, neurological issues, and increased cancer risk. By opting for organic versions of these items, consumers can reduce their exposure to these harmful chemicals significantly. Moreover, supporting organic agriculture has broader benefits beyond individual health. It promotes more sustainable farming practices that are better for the environment. Organic farming reduces pollution, conserves water, reduces soil erosion, increases soil fertility, and uses less energy. It is also better for nearby birds and animals, as well as people who live close to farms. So, the next time you're picking out produce at your grocery store or local market, take a moment to consider not only what you're putting into your body, but also the impact your choices have on the planet. Ask yourself, what's really on my food?